Well, I
Huh.
don't know about all y'all, but it is morning for me. It's 7 a.m. over in the US, but I am here. My name is Davion, and with me is.
Okay. Hello
Wow.
again, everybody. No, I don't. I was like, yeah, okay. That was a little less energy than I was expecting. But it's fine. I'm back. I'm here. Obviously, you guys, I don't know who of you caught the cast earlier, but it's great to be back. We are excited for some more Pride Cup games. Yeah, and just welcome everybody to Pride Cup Weekend 1.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to comprehend or top what happened in game one with a reverse sweep to start off this tournament. So I think this is going to be a phenomenal time. I'm really excited for this game going up here in game two. It's again, it is 7 a.m. for me. I don't understand how energy is here, but I'm ready to vibe, and it is going to be fun on this Saturday.
That's absolutely fantastic. Yes, we are ready to vibe. We're excited. So we're going to be watching the Three Men, Two Socks, interesting name, versus the Lunar Colony Enjoyers. And I mean, I don't know who of you played Overwatch 1 when Horizon Lunar Colony was a thing, but I mean, questionable names, but I mean, hey, it's all in the fun of Pride Cup, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, and we got some fire competition in this tournament, so it's been really fun. I surprisingly got to catch some of the first game. I don't know why I was up early enough for that. Maybe it was my dogs, maybe it was just my excitement to watch Overwatch. But it was we definitely got to catch some of it, and it's if it's anything like that first game, we're in for a great match today.
Yes, and I mean, if we look at the rosters, we will be able to see, obviously, they'll come up for you guys now, and we'll just break it down a little bit. But these two rosters, we are expecting chaos, we're expecting fun, and we're expecting shenanigans. So in Three Men, Two Socks, we have Toxin Socks on DPS, we have Kuragari on DPS, we have Jesse, who is a all-round fantastic player, I have heard, who is playing on the tank, and then we've got Parasox and Mole as their two support players. And then looking at the next roster.
Is that the Lunar Colony Enjoyers?
Yes.
We got Big Tuna and Shadow taking on the damage roles. I like the Pharah icon. Super BH, not to be confused with the other guy, on tank. Vertigo and COWZA, I hope I said that properly, on support. So it's going to be some fun times. Based off just the logos, we see some Ana enjoyers. Always happy to see a fair enjoyer, and I will never shame a Ramattra player.
Very, very true. So when we're looking at this roster, we're looking at names like Shadow, who is obviously up and coming. He is a very, very good Pharah player, so we're going to be able to see what he does on that. Big Tuna, phenomenal DPS player, very, very versatile, likes to send it into the backline, and as we know with Super BH, coined the Chad tank, also likes to send it. So that's going to be very, very interesting to watch those two playing together. And then obviously we know and love Vertigo, was a off-tank player, but is now on support on her favorite hero. And then COWZA, we don't really know COWZA very much, but I mean, picking Kiriko up as their favorite, I mean, we're expecting a lot of fun from this lineup as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we got some off-tank players moving to roles, because of course an entire role was abolished in Overwatch 2. So moving over to that support role is a pretty hard change to make, and we'll see how it plays out today for Vertigo. But if it's anything like KK's gassing, I think it's going to be a fun time.
I think so too. So when we're looking at the maps, the map pool, if you didn't happen to catch it earlier, we are going to Midtown first, obviously, because this is Pride Cup, we're celebrating Pride Month. We wanted to throw in Midtown first there because, it has been razzle-dazzled with all of the beautiful rainbows. So we wanted to throw that in first. Then we're going to be going to Lijiang, Route 66, Esperanza, and then Ilios if we are lucky and happy enough to go to a map 5 then.
Yes, with the amazing Pride confetti coming down over here on Midtown, which is it's great to see that right off the bat, and that's why we want to celebrate here over with the Pride Cup, all the flags, everything, just the walkways. You got all the good stuff going on over here with this. Every banner is in the windows. It's just so cool to see this from the Overwatch team finally making that big bump, and I think we already may have a DC to start off today, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yes, I mean, it would not be South African Overwatch if there was not a pause or a disconnect, right?
Kicking it off early.
Kicking it off early. But yeah, so if we're just going to chat about what we think these teams are planning on running. Obviously, you know, with this sort of map, we're generally looking at some sort of spam archetype. Sometimes teams will favor more of a poke style with a ball. But I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what they come out on, because I was advised Jesse is as I said earlier, very all-round good player. Super BH, very aggressive. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the two tanks are able to go head-to-head. And we have been informed that Shadow is just restarting. Obviously, you know, unfortunately, we have technical difficulties, as is.
It happens.
Usual.
It happens.
Yeah.
But I could see a little bit of rush here. I mean, we've been seeing it in World Cup, and I've been seeing a lot of it in just regular comp games, where I've seen a lot of the Ramatra rush with May, with the buff to, unfortunately, to May and, you know, Cass. We can see those types of characters popping out. And we did see a couple players that want to look like they want to play Kiriko. So we definitely can see that from them. But again, South African Overwatch may be a little bit different over here from NA Overwatch. So who knows what we can be expecting from these players. I've seen some ball this morning. I saw a lot of Winston this morning. So I'm really excited to see what these teams come up with and how they kind of generally bring their teams together for this.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I really love Ramatra on this map. I just think there's a lot of sight lines that he can deny with his shield. He just holds space really, really nicely. He can obviously poke, and then if people come up close, then he's got his Nemesis form where he can just tank a whole lot of damage. So I personally love it when my team is playing Ram on this map. But obviously, yeah, we could see a ball, we could see a monkey. I'm not so sure. I can't really see either of these teams coming out on an Orisa, or more like off meta picks. So I think that's going to be interesting. And I'm also excited to see how the support duos line up. Whether they're going to favor more of a Kiriko, or whether they're going to be backing their Ramatra with that Ana, or maybe even like a Lucio speed boost so that the Ram can get in and out of those fights.
Yeah, I really like the Ana Brig with Ram. I think it looks really, really solid with those with the type of comp that you want to run in this scenario, especially when you want to get this map. We see the sight lines, right? We have a lot of poke. We have a lot of different things that goes on with that, and then on top of that, we have the right when you get to the point, it's just all brawl. So that's why Ramatra is so good in this map. And it's just fun to watch for this first point, of course. And the second point, you get a little bit in that under the bridge, those types of phases. And then once you get to the Grand Central Station, it's a little bit funky because of this high ground. So I could see things like Ram. I think Ashe would be a phenomenal pick on this map if you want to run that, or even Hanzo with that. But we'll see. I think they're going to lean more towards that brawl, which we do see a little bit of now.
Yeah, so we see both teams actually coming out with a Ramatra, obviously a very just all-around good pick on this map. And then we see the teams going in slightly different ways. I mean, we saw Mole's favorite hero is Moira. So, I mean, you know, you have a favorite hero. We can't really judge that. Though we want to. But we see they're running a different style. So obviously we're looking at Parasox and Mole. It's going to be a lot more fast paced. You're just going to be wanting to get in there with a Ramatra. And then the Lunar Colony Enjoyer is going for more of a just a spam style with the pharmacy. Yeah. We know what Shadow can do on the pharmacy. So it's going to be interesting to see that and see if they can get picks with Tune on that Hanzo.
Yeah, very intrigued by what we're going to pop out of with this pharmacy, because they do have the Cass and the May on the other side. We already know what those two characters got in this recent patch, so we'll see how this shakes out against each other. But it's just a lot of poke right now. Nothing crazy happening. Kirigari got a little bit low there. Super is taking a little bit of damage here, but again, nothing but Toxin Socks is just down immediately. The pharmacy coming through, but Kirigari comes back, knocks down Shadow, and now we're back to a 4v4. Just a never-ending brawl here.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
We were expecting that. I mean, it's two Ramatras. They're just going to be at each other the whole time. So it's just currently poking back and forth to see which team loses the next person.
Yep, and we saw a couple picks there. We're waiting on a couple of respawns here. And it's just a lot of picks. Kirigari gets another one. Jesse cleans up, and it looks like this defense will be holding.
Yeah, so I mean, even with the early pick on Toxin Socks, they were able to hold that out really nicely. Jesse playing his shield and his health pool really, really well. And then obviously with Mole to keep him healed up. And then Kuragari just getting those, just that damage in to make Lunar Colony Enjoyers just slow down a little bit so they're not as aggressive as they want to be.
Yeah, and the spam is doing a good job. They already have dragons up, and they're popping it. He getting a 2 with that. Kirigari and Parasox go down. Big Tuna with the big pick. Super picks up Jesse, and we're looking at 2v5. Cleaning up now. Super and Shadow finish those off, and we're going to capture point A here.
Yeah, that was very, very well played by Tuna. I mean, he is a player who is very, very well known in the Overwatch community. Has got very fantastic game knowledge. So just noticing that, that's unfortunate. It's just having that ability just to get your cast curse. Literally just to get that ult out, get those 2 picks, and open up at that point for them.
Yeah, the biggest part is separating the teams, and you know, getting picked there is not that big of a deal. Your spawn is right there. You guys are already going into the street phase here, moving on after on this hybrid map. We're looking at Parasox goes down. I didn't see that. We were looking at Shadow's ult here, but Ground Fair is not going to work here. High Noon and Annihilation pop, picking up 2 more. It's just cleanup duty from there, but Super gets a pick at the end there on the way out.
Yeah, that was very well played by him. I mean, ults used, and I mean, they haven't really... I mean, they've stopped the cart, but I feel like Lunar Colony Enjoyers are able to come back. They're going to come back with 4 ults, and they're going to be able to just throw those out. Tox needs to be careful to not get picked here, and that's Kitsune Rush that could open up the spike.
We just saw 5 ults immediately popped. Just 5 immediate. Maybe 4, I think. Or, like, just so many ults. It was beat. It was both support ults on the side of Parasox. And everyone's just going down. It's just trade after trade. Super's going to try to clean it up with Annihilation here. He's going to take 2, pocketed by his his Mercy, while he's with the ult going off. Toxin Socks finishes down, and that is it for that fight. Super just cleaning up that with Annihilation, getting 3 there. Huge pocket from Vertigo. And now we got a swap here. We see Diva over for Jesse. Toxin Socks moves over from May to Echo. We see Ash. Just complete comp change. 4 out of the only person staying put is Mole.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting because, I mean, I think they want the Zen Orb just to put a bit more pressure on Super BH and just have Jesse on the front line being able to tank that. Oh, unfortunately, Tox goes down really, really early before the Evil...
Tuna also goes down.
Oh, they traded.
Yeah, but Res here. Tuna. Oh, and a big E from Jesse, killing the dragons in its spot, stopping that in its tracks. I love a good Diva eat on my Saturday mornings.
Yeah, we see here that Lunar Colony Enjoyers obviously came out on top with that. It's really nice because they do get the res, so if they lose somebody early, they're able to get that. So now it's just kind of clean up, and then they should be able to push through into point 3 here.
Yeah, the E didn't save the lives. Super is just going absolutely nuclear on the Ramatra here. He's even going into spawn, killing Parasox, cleaning up these stragglers, getting Kirigari as well on the Ash. I do like the Ash change here. I think it stops them with the spam a little bit. But when we moved over from Pharah to Soldier, this high ground control is going to be so important for the Soldier because he does the Mercy pocket's right there. You have nothing else to lose. And you see a pick, but Vertigo goes down. We see Toxin Socks moving over to Hanzo.
Oh goodness, and the 2 best friends who said that they weren't going to kill each other. I mean, Tox has just broken that, so I'm expecting Vertigo to whip out the Glock and straight back to Tox. But the bomb comes out. Unfortunately, it doesn't get anything. But it looks right now like 3 men, 2 socks are winning this fight.
Yes, the bomb there was just mostly for remech purposes. Did get demeched by Shadow, so we just need to remech, get back in, and not lose your fight here. Annihilation was popped that fight though, so that's a big ult off the board, and you won the fight. That's a game changer ult. Toxin Socks getting Shadow as well in that fight at the end there. The only thing we have now, we're gonna have Mercy ult, we're gonna have Visor, we're potentially gonna get Kiriko ult midway through this. But the other ults, there's 4 of them on the other side for 3 men, 2 socks. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and we're also seeing Big Tuna switch over to the Bastion, which is going to be an
Yeah, but
interesting
immediately
one.
picked.
Oh,
Oh,
unfortunate.
but we saw 3 ults popped from Toxin Socks. That was a very expensive fight where Lunar Colony didn't use anything.
Yeah, that was actually well played by them. I mean, they're just obviously now they're just gonna die. They're just gonna regroup, and all that 3 men 2 socks have is a trance. The trance can do a lot, generally to counter the visor, but we'll have to see how Donnie can actually use his Kitsune Rush and see if they can get value from that when they re-engage.
Yeah, Val Kitsune Rush plus Visor is going to be huge. We're going to have the Bastion ult as well online here soon. The only thing you have here to stop that is a Zen ult. Here comes the Kitsune Rush, but Super is down early. Very, very early. They get bombed. They pop 4 ults, 2 between each team, and nobody on Lunar Colony gets a pick here, except for Donnie getting a head tap onto Kirigari right at the end there. Big Tuna picks up 2, and right as you think they're gonna lose the fight, they get a res off with Valk and pick off 3. Big Tuna coming in clutch on the Bastion. That artillery is coming through.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge for them. I mean, to recontest, we have Tox's ult that's coming up, but I'm not so sure if they're going to be able to actually stop that with Super just walking in with the Annihilation and making people suffer.
Yeah, and Big Tuna is putting the damage in. He's finishing off the picks there. Super killing 1 here, getting a DMAC, knocking out Jesse at the end there, and that'll be the cap with 46 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that was very well played by them. I mean, it did look a bit sketchy in that fight, but once they rounded that corner and Tuna popped off with the Bastion, just the Mercy Pocket Bastion, it's a lot of damage that you're just shredding through the enemy team, and so they were able to cap just under a minute, but, you know, they capped, which is the important thing.
Yeah, but at the speed they were going, I think that was best case scenario for 3 men 2 socks. With the expensive fight they had where they used 3 ults, only thing they had was Zen ult and Diva Bomb, countered that with a Valk and the Bastion ult, and they ended up winning it. It looked like they were going to lose. They lost 2 very early. Yeah. Res went off. They were able to recover, and then they had Annihilation for the cleanup at the end there. It was just insane. I thought it was over. I thought they were going to have to regroup, one last fight to try to win it, but Vertigo gets a clutch res off, and just Donnie got the opening pick off to make sure that they can get everything else taken care of. And Big Tuna cleaning up.
Yeah, that was very, very well played by them. And I really also like the switch onto the Soldier. I mean, Shadow noticed, okay, I'm not getting as much value on the Pharah as I want, so I'm going to switch off for more consistent damage. And I think that was also really good for the team, just to have that consistency. And then obviously with Tuna also making the necessary switch.
Yeah, and we're seeing Widow coming out here potentially. On the defense though, Shadow's sitting on the Soldier and everything else looks exactly the same. A Pharmacy Junker Queen here is going to be really fun. Love me some Queen. And again, Widow on this map is a very interesting pick. With the nerfs, it's not as bad as everyone thought. We just can't be head tapped from Narnia anymore. And there we go. True. Big Tuna picking Mole off early.
Oh, that was a very, very early pick for them. They're going to 3 men 2 socks, probably just going to have to chill, wait it out, just wait for the other player, maybe take some poke, throw some poke. But obviously they do need to wait for Mole to come back, because that's a lot of their healing.
Yeah, that's all of their healing, with Parasox having to sit there with the Pharah. Big Tuna back-to-back headshots, getting the first 2 picks of opening this one wide open for this defense. Another one from Tuna. They traded double head taps from the snipers here. This is some insane sniper gameplay here. I think this might be the opening though that Lunar Colony needs.
I think so, especially losing 2 to 3 people. Yeah. I mean, we still see they stuck a choke. They haven't really pushed forward because Super BH is holding that space so nicely with the Ramatra. So even though they lost people, they still haven't even touched point yet.
Yeah, they're not getting through. Big Tuna did swap off Hanzo, is going Cassidy. And that's the only swap here, but the space is being held so well by Supers. He just walks in, gets Mole, not letting anyone build up their ultimates. The more not having any above 70% ult charge with this comp is insane to me. Junker Queen takes so much damage against what they're playing, and the healing would be absurd if Mole could stay alive. Yeah, and we're already getting an annihilation.
People are suffering.
The reckoning just stops. The suffering just won't stop. That's 2. Make it 3. Tuna gets 1. Super gets a 3rd, and Mole still can't build up Coalescence. But a fair ult picks off 1. Very, I don't know. That ult's a little questionable to me. They got the pick off, but at what cost?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the team is regrouping. I mean, they are kind of running in now because they notice, okay, they don't have that front line pressure. So we'll have to see if Lunar Colony and Joyce can actually hold this out just until their tank gets back.
Yeah, but they're holding off pretty well. The Kitsune Rush will help them. High Noon gave them some separation, but they do walk in and get Ana. And Shadow gets picked off as well, but Super comes right back like he wasn't gone. Gets 2, 3. He's just smacking him. Oh, that's 4. Do we have an ace? No, the fade just stops that ace from happening. 4. Super just comes back and just leaves off. It's so beautiful watching the Ramatra just go in there and smack people with his fist.
And he literally just ulted, and he's already 81% to the next ult, which I find absolutely insane.
Used ult, died, came back.
Exactly. They're going to be going against that Annihilation again now as they're trying to breach this choke. And it's just, but they're just struggling with this Queen comp, and I don't know if they need to switch it up.
Yep, and then here's another ult, Annihilation. But Jesse does get a pick off. Super gets 1. Tuna gets 2 with the help from the Ana with that beautiful nade if you didn't see it from Vertigo. And it's just backing up again. No, nothing to do. They finally use Coalescence with about 30 seconds left now. It's looking hard. Sim and Bastion is what they're running right now. The DPS line, and they just can't break down Big Tuna and Shadow. Or in any case, Super.
Yeah, we'll have to just see if they're able to actually capitalize off of the Junker Queen ult or what's going to happen. I mean, you see a res coming out because they lost someone so early in the fight. That was a big nade, though. Big
reckoning from there. 2 go down, Donnie and Big Tuna, but Shadow gets 1. The ult is live. Head tap simulator. There's 2, and they can't touch. No. No touch out from 3 men, 2 socks, and they'll lose map 1.
Well played by them. That was fantastic showing by Lunar Colony and Joyce, and obviously play of the game, Super BH on that Ramatra.
Walk back in, kill a bunch of people, walk out like nothing happened. It was just beautiful stuff. Oh,
yep, it's just running
beautiful
over them.
4K.
Nothing they could do there. Almost a 5K, but very, very well done by them. I mean, as we spoke about Tuna being a very, very good DPS player, and he was just getting consistent picks. And then even when he switched onto the Cassidy, he was putting in so much damage that they were just not able to breach that choke. And I don't know if Jesse just wanted to carry on with the Junker Queen to get the ult off, or if he thought that was going to create space eventually. But I would have liked to see something a bit different, because they were just getting caught in that choke the whole time, because the Junker Queen was just not matching up to the pressure that the Ramatra was actually putting out, and just the space that he was able to hold with
exactly,
with his shield and with his Nemesis form.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I noticed was the spam damage, right? They're playing Sojourn, they're playing Kaz, they were playing Hanzo. Once you got 3 picks off right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Kind of should have been a telltale sign that maybe this isn't something we need to do. Maybe we need to swap it up, think of something a little different here. It was a little hard for Junker Queen to play on this map because of all the spam. The biggest thing that they could have done, I think a Ramatra, maybe even a Sigma could have helped there. Who knows in that scenario, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do moving forward.
Yeah, just something to be able to kind of just soak up that pressure, or just switching over to something like Ball and going proper, just fast paced, rolling through the Ramatra, putting pressure on the backline, because the backline was pretty much uncontested. I mean, Vertigo was just sitting there being able to heal up Super BH the whole time. And I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of pressure from the DPS line of 3 men, 2 socks, but I mean, she basically sat there uncontested. So, I mean, maybe something even a bit more fast-paced would have helped them just to breach that choke and actually get onto point.
Yeah, and even bigger, they had saving for that Queen ult, like you said, was something that they might have been trying to do, but then they just had Kiriko Cleanse ready to go for it. So it's kind of like maybe just too little too late when they want to make the changes they did. Yeah. But we'll see what adaptations they make here in Lijiang Tower. And we could very well see See some crazy comps here, especially on this point. I love the brawl here. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I love to see it as well. I mean, you know, you can never go wrong with a Ryan comp. Everybody goes White Room and you just brawl it out.
The good old days.
The good old days when you just, you know, you call White Room, you speed, and you just hope that you get there first.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see what the teams actually decide to pick. But I mean, that would be pretty. Oh, Tox is saying silly times. So the Junkrat comes out. Oh goodness gracious! Okay.
Hey, listen, if you're gonna pick a map for Junkrat, this is the one. Very true. No May, no Reaper. We're gonna be running the same rush. I'm looking at the support line, and I think there's obviously some differences here. I definitely like the Moira Lucio more than I like the BAP Kiriko here.
Yeah.
The speed boost for Ryan is just too much, and they're gonna have TPs. They're gonna have full control of White Room here.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll have to just see how Super BH actually plays this, because he's going to need to try and negate that, especially because they're going to get there so much earlier. So we'll see how that team actually positions themselves to put themselves in a more advantageous position.
Yep, good old Ryan v Ryan brawl here. It's going to be a little bit of poke for this team, because just the Lunar Colony enjoyers aren't gonna have a hard time trying to walk in and trying to get something, especially against Junkrat and Sim. But we see the Ryans clash. Finally, the double pins. Kirigari gets the immortality field, but Super goes down very early, and it's looking like it's cleanup duty from here. Kirigari is just taking lives. The Sim is powered up, juiced. Toxin Socks cleans up on Junkrat. Team kill sound goes off, and we have the first fight win for the 3 men, 2 Socks.
That was a very, very quick fight win. I mean, that's what you mentioned earlier. Lunar Colony Enjoyers are going to struggle without that Lucio. They're going to be taking so much damage just with not being able to speed in. Oh, that's an early pick on the BAP, which is very detrimental. They're going to have to reset here. I don't think they want to take this fight.
No, and they do switch off of Reaper to Junkrat, so I think that helps a little bit with the spam that they have and what they're going up against. But with Tyre already online, the Wall online, Moira ult online, Lucio beat online, it's going to be really wild. 5 ults there for the 3 men, 2 Socks. Here comes Kitsune Rush. Oh, races of the hammer can't hit! May throws him off. 2 kills. Jesse gets 1. Kirigari gets the other. Oh, what a miscommunication out there from Tuna and Super. That's rough.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. I mean, you know, sometimes it happens. I mean, we can say that we've had multiple comp games where your mate just walls off your line. There's nothing really to do about it. You just have to move forward. But I mean, Big Tuna, Shadow, they're also coming up. It could be, you could be looking towards the May ult. It could be something big. But Kirigari still has that wall, which could negate a lot of their damage. So I mean, Window is already out early, and they have got a pick.
Yep, Shadow does get Toxin Socks, the Junkrat counterpart, and the Ryan is completely out of position for 2 men, but he doesn't die. Pair of Socks go down. 3 men, 2 Socks. Somehow Jesse survives here. The runaround from Super runs in. The wall goes up, so they're trying to fight this. Kirigari goes down, so they only have 2 left. But a pin comes in, gets Vertigo. It's a big hit. He gets Shadow, too. Is there a chance that they survive this? Big Tuna gets 1. Super gets the other one. It's cleanup duty now. Pair of Socks is on the point, stalling as Lucio. Junkrat may come in and will not. 98-0 is how that fight ends.
Wow, that was really close. I mean, I thought that they were going to flip that way earlier than they did, and 3 men 2 Socks actually almost clutched that out. If Super had not gotten those 2 kills, then they could have definitely won that point 99-0.
Absolutely. It might have been over right then. But now we're coming back. Shatter, here's the Moira ult. Shatter goes through, and it's huge! 3 down, 2 dead! Super gets cleansed, but it's not enough. Oh, 3 are down. Kirigari gets them. Big Tuna does find a pick onto Kirigari, though. Toxin Socks gets Donnie. It's just the May left alone, stalling. Toxin Socks gets him. I don't think they have a way to get back in the time frame they have. Fire in the hole. Overtime is ticking. 2 go down. And Shatter can't go off, but Lucio actually can't touch. They do swap it off. 1 HP for the Lucio. Toxin Socks finds the 3rd. It's just Kiriko trying to get there. Kitsune Rush goes off, but it is not enough. That comp, the Lucio comp, I think is just a little bit better. Just a little bit for the Reinhardt.
I completely agree with you. I mean, you don't play Rhine generally without a Lucio because you love having that speed. You can be so aggressive, but you can also get your Rhine out of situations. And we just saw in that, just in the two compositions, I mean, yes, the Kitsune Rush was able to provide some sort of utility, but just having that Reinhardt be able to speed in, get those shatters off, just get in and just swing so freely, it obviously turned the fire around a lot faster, and so they were able to win that first point.
So we're gonna see the same comp. We're gonna sub out a Junkrat for a Cassidy here, but on the other side we're seeing Dive. It's gonna be a clash of comps. I do like both comps on this map, but we'll see how it goes. The Rhine is gonna try to stay point here. I think the goal here for the 3 men 2 socks is trying to stay more point, stay more on the point, use your sim to your advantage. Even though 2 go down, Shadow goes down and Tox and Socks go down, they trade out a little bit on the DPS line. Donnie's gonna go down to Jesse and them just staying put, but Jesse's asleep. He has enough healing to stay up. Kirigari gets Big Tuna, and that should end the fight right there. The Ana and the Winston need to get out of there, regroup, and see if they can fight another day.
Yeah, I think this is going to be quite difficult for Shadow on the Genji, and I'd actually like to see him switch off because it's going to be so difficult to breach that point with the turrets just fighting into the Rhine, because obviously 3 men 2 socks do just want to bunker up. So I want to see a bit more. There we go. So we see Shadow switches
right onto
off.
Pharah.
Yeah, I like
Which
this.
Pharah's phenomenal here.
Yeah, because now you can take different angles and you can spam them out of point. You can put in a lot of damage.
Yep, and we can see the Tracer taking a different angle here. Big Tuna is trying to get a pick. Shadow finds pair of socks. Big Tuna does get the pulse palm off on Kirigari, and this is exactly what they needed to break it open. Super gets one more, just 2 left, but Jesse finds Big Tuna, but they clean up. Super Shadow get the last 2. Res Big Tuna back. The team kill sound goes off once again, and we're here with a flip.
Yeah, I love the pick that Shadow made. I mean, he's almost 80 to ult already, putting in a lot of damage, able to provide a lot. I mean, we even see Jesse's now switched because he's noticed, okay, this Pharah is actually going to cause issues for us. So we're
Same with Tox and Socks.
Yeah,
off
Tox
a
is
sim.
also switched off. Yeah, because they've realized, okay, we can't actually bunker down now because we've lost points, so now we have to take a different approach to this.
Yep, exactly. Big Tuna got extremely low there. Was literally a sliver of HP. Does survive though. Healers do come up clutch. Kirigari still find him. Super though gets Tox and Socks. So we trade out DPS characters here. Super's getting kind of low. Super's gonna go down. They can't find another one. No tank. This is gonna be a hard fight to try to keep a hold of. Donnie almost goes off the bat. Vertigo somehow goes to res, but doesn't get the res off. And that should be a lost fight there. Kirigari gets Shadow. It's just Donnie on point. Big Tuna is actually back there to help, but Donnie goes down. We're gonna see some stalling here. Big Tuna and Super trying to get the stall off. Super's gonna go down. Still have Tracer on point. Hacked. They switched off of Ash to a sim. Big Tuna's gonna go down to Pair of Socks' boop. And we're gonna see a Mercy touch here. Goes down. Pair of Socks gets down. Shadow gets hacked on the way in, and that's a wrap. Pretty close though. 47 and counting to 64 is not terrible.
Yeah, not bad at all. But I mean, we do see 3 men 2 socks have 4 ults coming up. But I mean, also on Lunar Colony Enjoyers, they've also got 4 ults online. So it's going to be who clicks Q first and which Q gets more value.
Exactly. Here comes the big bomb coming in. Nobody gets taken out by it. Mercy's hacked here. Mercy's gonna go down. High Noon gets it off. Big Tuna does find 2 after swapping over from Tracer to the Reaper. Finds a 3rd. Jesse gets 1. It's just trade after trade. It's Sombra and Diva versus Reaper and Winston. The Diva's gonna lose this out, running away to get the Mega. They got some reinforcements now. There's a Lucio on point with them, just trying to get the picks off. Farah's coming in. The beat drops. Mole's here as a Moira. And the Winston ult is popped. They're looking for anything. Shadow has ult, but is hacked. Can't get it off. And then a double hack as EMP pops off, but dies. Toxic Socks goes down to Winston. Justice rays from above, but can't find anything. Big Tuna's finding the trade. 3 men 2 socks are just stalling this out. Way more. Big Tuna's still finding picks. Trying to get something. The entire ult was eaten. Die is just taken away. Pair of Socks is down. Shadow finally gets Mole, and the D-Mech results in Donnie getting Jesse, and finally a flip for the Lunar Colony Enjoyers.
Oh my goodness, that was absolutely crazy. I mean, it looked like it could go either way, and then people were just throwing ults left, right, and center. So now we're just looking at Maul's ult if the Cole is going to be able to get anything, or if Donnie's ult is going to provide more utility for the team, with the Kitsune Rush just providing, you know, all of those abilities and the faster attack speed, etc.
Yeah, it's going to be Kit versus Coalescence here. We're going to see how this plays out. Toxin Socks used EMP that fight, so it's going to be really hard to bounce back with the ults that they have, but we'll see how it goes. It's the last fight territory. Kirigari does get super, though, so this could be huge. The Shadow and Vertigo are currently hacked. Shadow goes down to Toxin Socks. Vertigo gets cleansed out, but it's looking low. Big Tuna, it does get taken out. This could be the end, and we could be seeing them tying up the series 1-1. It's close. But nope, it's not close at all. They're cleaning up now. Super is going to go down. This is it right here. Kirigari, high nooning, beat drops. It's just Shadow on the Tracer with 1 HP. Jesse finishes it. Last 99 to 199 finishes off with 3 men, 2 socks, getting the tied series 1 apiece.
Yeah, that was very, very well played by them. I mean, unfortunately, Super going down so early, they needed that Winston to get primal for that fight, and because he went down so early, they just had no front line, and Jesse was just able to run in with the Diva, just provide a lot for the team, and there it was just clean up from there, unfortunately. But very, very well played to 3 men, 2 socks. It was a clean showing from that team.
Absolutely. And a big shatter over there from Jesse. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
he actually, I think
well.
there was a cancel of the of Junkrat tire there. I think the shatter
really?
popped off while he was pulling, while the Junkrat was pulling the tire. I think it canceled it.
Oh.
Wild. That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, very well played by him. Very good. Just all around. I mean, we can't say so far that it's been very one-sided. I mean, both teams have showed phenomenal ability, just good game knowledge, understanding. So now, obviously, what we just want to see as the tournament goes on is just that synergy growing within the team, because obviously, you know, the people were just randomized into teams, and so they don't know everybody that they're playing with. So you're building synergy, you're creating, you know, making new friends, doing all of that, and that's what this is about.
Exactly. So the big thing here, though, is that the series is tied 1 up. This is we're guaranteed going to a push map, which is always everyone's favorite map type. So we're gonna have some fun there. The biggest thing, though, is just getting that series tie and getting the win, because after what happened on Midtown, it's getting full health like that on first point. That could take a toll on your mental, and you could see them bounce back very, very quickly, and getting that map win is huge for them. So, you know, it's a big bounce back on your mental, and that's a big bounce back. Like you said, for randomized teammates, not really knowing everyone that's going to be on your team, it's very nice to see that, well, my team can bounce back and win a map. So we definitely have a chance in this series.
Yeah, and even in such a convincing fashion. So when Tox is like, okay, cool, it's silly time, and then he pulls out the Junkrat. I mean, yeah, it's a fun pick, but it's also a pick that worked. And so it's really nice to be able to see that teams are taking this seriously, but also willing to have fun with it.
And I mean, Junkrat, you immediately pick on that map. I mean, a lot of people take Junkrat on that map, and it's just perfect. Works out extremely well for him. And I'm really excited to see what we do here on Route 66. I mean, after the first 2 maps, I mean, that last round just went to a 99 to 99. It was very, very close. The fight wins were everywhere. The ults are everywhere. It's going to be a fun time here on this map. I could see Ramatra coming right back out for Super here. I think it'd be a really good pick. I also would love to see some Ashe here, because I've seen it from other players, and it looks like I'm gonna get my wish, I hope, because Ashe is great here.
I mean, both teams, this is what we kind of expect on Route 66. Both teams are playing sort of a spam comp. Oh, Super is deciding what to play. He's deciding what to play, but we hope he comes out on a Sigma, because it's always fun seeing those Sigma duels. But yeah, I do think Tuna's going to stick on the Ashe, because you've got the nice Ashe pocket. Always good for, you know, the dynamite, just a lot of damage. But we see Toxin Socks is going to be scouting out on the Sombra, which could be very, very strong in the initial parts of this game.
Agreed. And I like Baptiste a little more than Ashe here. Or, I'm sorry, Ashe. Ana. here. So we'll see. He does come out on the Junker Queen, so we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Ashe is just trying to get some... Both Ashes are trying to get pocket damage. The Tuna v Kuragari matchup has been fun so far, so I expect nothing less from it here on the mirror. And both of them get an Ana, so... Or, I'm sorry, not an Ana, a Mercy. So we should be fine.
Yeah, it's very
Big
interesting.
Tuna strikes first.
Oh, that was very...
Big Tuna strikes first in a big way.
Wow.
2 down, both supports. 3 down. Kuragari gets picked off as well. Do I see a 4th? No, Shadow will get it instead. Was hitting the shots, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can just see how much damage this Ashe that's pocketed does. I mean, with Vertigo on the pocket, Tuna is already 75 to Bob, and he's putting in so much damage with that dynamite and with those headshots.
August actually gets Shadow there. Kuragari does move off of Ashe, moves over to the Widow, and Jesse's going to go off Sig, go to Ball. So we'll see how that plays out. We get the res off for Shadow. The big dynamite over there is ticking down in that corner. Kuragari finds 1, but Big Tuna finds 1 too, so that's a fair trade over for Big Tuna. Jesse is contesting the point right now. Pile drives down his anti though. Vertigo does go down. Jesse goes down. They need a contest here. They're going to find it with Mole. Mole is trying to find some help on the point. Toxin Socks is giving support on Sombra. Does go down, but Kuragari picks up Donnie. Super's still alive here. It's Mercy. It's Bap. It's Widow. Can Junker Queen clean this up at full HP here? Maybe not. Ball is coming right back in, and it looks like that's going to be an end fight for this team. Toxin Socks, or I'm sorry, yeah, Toxin Socks got a big pick from behind. 3 men, 2 Socks will win the fight, but now they're right back in. We're seeing off of Widow onto Soldier. Bob's coming in onto point to fight with Super. Reckoning onto Mole. Finds the dynamite onto him right after. That's a big pick. Bob is putting in all types of work, trying to get the pick. Super does get the last one there. They're looking for res. Shadow finds Parasox mid-res. Area denied, but I don't think it's enough. Does find Donnie, but the point does get capped. So that should just end the fight there, and we should be moving on to the next point.
Wow, that was incredibly fast-paced from Lunar Colony Enjoyers. I thought they were going to regroup, take a bit of time, but I mean, as soon as Super was back up, they were right back in there. And we see their optics coming through. Wow. Tuna, honestly on fire.
Did you see the jump shot from Kuragari?
Wow.
Smacked Vertigo right in the face, mid jump shot while flanking. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Tuna got the pick off, but the shot was just insane.
And we see Bob coming out here. We're going to see if we're going to actually see a Nano as well. But we need to look at Tox's ult because he looks like he's setting up for a big EMP. So this could completely win them the fight.
There's a big EMP. Kuragari found 1 prior to EMP, but does also pick up Donnie. The EMP is huge. Parasox is going to res up the teammate. And Kuragari has become just alive here. Toxin Socks is 1 HP. Mole is super low here on the Baptiste, but I think we'll recover fine. That'll be a win fight. Jesse got 2. Ball pick's working out for him.
Yeah, definitely. Just being able to get in and disrupt the lineup. But we see Tuna has now actually switched over to the Cassidy to help deal with that ball. So it is going to make JC's life a bit more difficult. But yeah, we're still waiting for the Nano. I'm wondering if it's going to be a Nano Visor because that should be able to, if they get 1 or 2 picks, just open up the fight really nicely. But they need to be careful of that ball because JC's getting really close to ult now.
Yeah, Big Tuna finds 1, but Vertigo is down again. Kuragari is getting the picks. Jesse finds Big Tuna here. Super gets Mole, but Kuragari head taps Donnie. It's just, look, Kuragari is given so much space here to operate. And no one, Shadow does find Parasox though, is going to try to fight the Widow in the room. Is going to lose on the machine gun, just spraying and praying. Kuragari finds the pick. Is still really healthy here. And it's Kuragari finds another headshot on Tuna. Kuragari's come alive on the second point here.
Yeah, you can definitely see that he is very comfortable on Widow and he's loving playing this. He is hitting those shots and he is creating a lot of opportunities for his team.
Oof. Toxin Socks goes down very close to EMP, which I think would have been the fight win here. Shadow does use the ult, is visoring, gets nanoed, is looking for more. He's trying to find somebody. No one's there. Mole goes down. Jesse goes down. Kuragari goes down, and that should be a fight win. Super finds 3 that fight. Big time play from the Junker Queen. And now we have the Reckoning. Toxin Socks is coming up on EMP, though.
Yeah, that EMP could stop them right in their tracks as they're about to cap. Because we see they only have Super's ult online for the Lunar Colony Enjoyers. So we'll have to see what they're able to do with this.
Sleep Dart from Donnie stops him in tracks.
Oh, wow.
On the contest, that's huge because now, but they do have EMP, but that has to reset. Mole goes down, so they might not even use it. He still goes for it. Parasox reses Mole. Jesse goes down. Toxox gets Vertigo. The High Noon pops off, gets no one. Super gets 2 more. That should be the point now. Mole's down. The EMP, I would have held on to it personally after I saw one of my teammates go down. I know you have res, but they were just too close. It would have been easier to get the fight win here and just contest this point here.
Yeah, we see that he has switched over, so I think he just called that, okay, guys, I'm using EMP because I'm switching for the longer sight lines. I really like Hanzo on the second point, much better. Tuna taking on the Widow at range because, you know, why not? And Super is ulting.
The big Reckoning gets 3. Finds 3 with the Reckoning. The Sigma doesn't go down from it, but the other 2 do in that support line. Toxin Socks gets picked off as well. The only person that survived that is Kuragari, and at very, very low HP. It's going to be a tough one to stop. We have the Kitsune Rush coming up with a Junker Queen. Ramatra is switched over now, which I like the Ramatra pick here into what they're playing. But that's it. Sights against Kitsune is not going to do it. We're going to have to see how this gets played out. Donnie finds a sleep onto Jesse. Kitsune Rush goes in. Toxin Socks does find Donnie, though. Big pick-off. Shadow finds Mole, though, which is a great trade if you are the Lunar Colony and you just can't find anything if you're 3 men, 2 Socks. But they do get Shadow and Vertigo to go down. But Big Tuna finds another one. It's Super. It's Big Tuna. The 2 names we've been saying the whole time. Tuna again. High Noon finds one. Jesse is in Nemesis form, trying to recover. The Immortality Field comes out, so that helps out Jesse getting the pick off of Super, and they can't fight this anymore. But they look like they want to. They're coming back in. Shadow leading the charge as Soldier. Big Tuna looking for something. Suffering comes out. Annihilation is here. Jesse gets Shadow looking for another one. They've trapped Big Tuna in a room, and they get him down, and it's just a rough fight there. Great recovery from Lunar Colony Explorers, or Enjoyers, not Explorers.
Yeah, I think 3 men 2 Socks just kind of had the respawn advantage, and so they were just able to come back in, use what they needed to use in order to actually stabilize that. And so wow, that's 2 very, very quick picks.
2 very quick, both DPS down. Big Tuna off cast onto the Reaper here for this last fight, and it's a lot. He has him in his sights. It's looking like a spray and pray. Mole is down. Big Tuna gets 2. Jesse. Shadow gets hit with the nano, but somehow, wait, the res comes off. Parasox gets the res off on Jesse, but it doesn't matter because the Reckoning is here. Down goes Jesse, and they should cap with just a tad bit of time here. 5.7 seconds to be exact.
That was very, very close by them. I mean, I was just waiting. I could see Shadow had that ult, and Donnie was on 88, and I was like, okay, they're going to wait for this. They're going to wait, and it was very, very close. But they were able to capitalize off of those 2 ults and actually push it the full way on Route 66. So well played
grabbing
to them.
both DPS really solidified that fight win. They
Yeah,
didn't have anything to work
fast.
with, couldn't res it, and right as they get the 2 picks, they're immediately in your face, and it's a wrap.
And I was really wondering about Junker Queen on this map because, you know, we like using the high grounds. We like using the spam angles. And obviously Queen doesn't do so well against high spam comps. But I think Super played it really well, had the follow-up of the team, and was able to provide just a lot of utility and just presence in team fights. And so that's why Jesse had to switch off. So very, very well played to them. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how 3 men 2 Socks basically come back and see if they're able to also push it the full way. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, the biggest thing was the person that stepped up there was Big Tuna. I mean, open that first point up. We like the spam on the first point. Taking care of Big Earls right there is controlling that part of the map is essential for this first point. Yeah. And it didn't matter because they were dead before they even had a chance to control it. Big Tuna was getting picked left and right, and it was just, it was over. But we're seeing the Monkey and the Genji come out over here from 3 men 2 Socks, and I'm intrigued to see how they play this out.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously it's the more of a spam type against the dive. So we'll see if the dive is able to be coordinated in such a way so they're going to get value, and then they'll be able to win the team fight off of that value. Yeah,
it's a little rough when Big Tuna's hitting shots. Gets the Genji even in the face. Shadow picks off Mole, but Jesse does find Donnie. They're going to get the res off on it, though, so it's not end all be all. But now res is down, so we'll see how the rest of this plays out as spawn doors are really close for 3 men 2 Socks.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Kuragari is getting healed up now, but they haven't really been able to take as much space, and Shadow even gets a pick on Tox. So that's one of your dive characters that are down.
And Tox is having a rough time. Gets in the face of Big Tuna just to get headshot. Doesn't even have a chance this time. Gets head tapped again. We'll see if they Tox stays on this Genji. We'll see. But Kirigari wakes up, gets a pick. Rez should be online. They aren't going to cancel it. Mercy was low, but Kirigari finds a second one. Takes out the Widow on the other side. So the Rez isn't going to matter because now they're up one. So we'll see how the rest of this fight shakes out. Jesse's super low here, trying to get healed up, but Big Tuna's just blasts him. It's sleeping now for Super. He's trying to come in. The fights are everywhere for me because we have Genji dive in the back line fighting 2 or 3. Kirigari's in this front line. They're dealing with Super right now. They can't break through. So much attention on this Genji and just nothing coming out of it. They're going to get their Hanzo back now. Was Widow. Switches over to Hanzo for this. It's a little bit more reliability in the running away category. We'll see. But Kirigari finds one. Mole finds the other.
Oh, huge ult though. Oh, there are just kills going back and forth.
Ooh, yeah, Super gets nanoed here, dives the backline on Big Earls, takes control of it. Super just pops Annihilation and finds 2 more. Super is real low here. Using Nemesis form to try to stay alive here, do anything, but won't live out to see it. Jesse does get the pick, and we'll have Big Monkey ult for next fight.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Parasox using the ult there, so they're not going to have Nanoblade. Tox still trying to build that blade up, but we could see Jesse getting a lot of value with his ult. But Lunar Colony and Joyos will definitely have a recontest, and they have Bob to do so. So that's very, very important for them.
It's going to be rough. With that plus Valk, it's going to be a little hard to stay alive here, right? Unless Parasox hit the biggest nade of the career. Find the dry blade. Jesse is popping ult. Gets 2. Great job done from Parasox. Hitting the beautiful nade in that corner. That anti-nade was humongous. Detrimental to winning that fight. And they still used Bob.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. I mean, sometimes you hit a big nade and you think, okay, no, it's still salvageable, but in this case it wasn't, and that's Bob. That was Bob out. And Shadow falls very late, so that's so does
Big Tuna. They came out and they were trying to try to get set up on high ground, but Tox and Jesse just walk in and deny the high ground and get the picks off on it. Very smart play and great contest from 3 Men 2 Socks, making sure that they can control that high ground up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Ooh, goodness.
Super just walks in on Kirigari, gets the pick. Mole's low here too. Doesn't die though. Vertigo goes down instead. Big Tuna does find Tox, and Shadow finds Jesse, which means this the support line needs to get out of here. Yeah, they won't have the chance.
No. Big Tuna's like, nope, you want to run away from me? Sorry, not gonna happen. I need this ult charge back.
Yes, exactly. Pop trying to build up to the next just the next queen ult, and we are trying so hard to stay alive. I saw the Valk get popped. There's another nano right onto Jesse. Jesse trying to build it. Kirigari finds the head tap on Shadow. Jesse is anti though, staying in bubble. Donnie's goes down, but so does Parasox, so we trade out some honest here. Jesse's low, almost gets ult to stay alive, but can't. Super. Big Tuna finding picks. Tox finds one. Super is cleaning up the payload. No one is alive on the payload. Tox is 1 HP trying to find Big Tuna. And who else? Who else? It's the same 2 every time. Big Tuna and Super staying alive and cleaning up the point to win the fight again.
Yeah, playing very well. And I mean, we see Jesse's already back and he's already putting pressure on them. There's no wait time for this team. They're already just ready, set, go the whole time.
Exactly. And we did it because we had ult. A big window comes out, but it is very far up front. We trade out some people here. Kirigari finds Shadow with the head tap. Jesse gets Vertigo in the back line, but Super again finds the Ana. Ana does go down for Lunar. Calling it Super. He said, I'm going down. I'm taking at least 2 with me every time. But the supports are down, so he might find another. What is going on? Kirigari's down.
Oh my
God, then Full HP finds a 4th. Oh, the sole survivor on the point and survives. Super is just clutch. It's ridiculous. Clutch after clutch after clutch from Super. 4 kills there to stay alive and was the only one alive against a 4v1 and clears it.
Yeah, absolutely insane play by him. You can see he's super comfortable on the Junker Queen, which is really, really nice to see. Just people being comfortable on those newer heroes, so that he can actually just flex and go, okay, guys, I actually know what I'm doing. Look at this. And yeah, he pulls out a fantastic fight win there.
Yep, and then now Jesse switches over to Queen. Here comes the Nano Visor. May's online. Shadow gets Mole. Kurgai finds Big Tuna. Shadow finds a second. Shadow finds a third. And that's a fight win. 30 seconds remaining. This is looking not so good for 3 men, 2 socks.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire. I mean, and they're still getting kills, which is just staggers upon staggers, unfortunately. I mean, they're going to have 30 seconds to touch. Tuna has ult. Super has ult. Vertigo is coming up to ult. So it's going to be... I mean, we can maybe farm up Nano in time or maybe get Jesse's ult online, but it's going to be a really, really tough ask for them to push the whole way.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really hard here. We'll see how it plays out. May's here for the contest, but Bob is here. Bob is not in the best spots, but they find two. Vertigo gets the Glock kill with Valkyrie. Shadow finds Parasox. Super pops it, gets Jesse. Big Tuna finds Mole, and Lunar Colony we'll take a 2-1 lead in this series, and we'll be on match point going into push.
That was so well played by them. Honestly, props to Vertigo for whipping out the Glock. I respect it. I back it. Do it more, please. We love to see Mercy Glocking the heck out of people. But yeah, just incredibly well played by Lunar Colony enjoyers. Like, there were just so many moments where the fights could have gone either way, and they were just played out of his mind. Tuna played out of his mind, and obviously rightfully so. Man got the play of the game, just doing all the burn damage, all the headshots. Fantastic gameplay. But that's not to discount 3 men 2 socks, who are also playing incredibly well, but you can see that they seem to still be finding their footing when it comes to what they feel more comfortable playing. Because they were obviously switching up heroes a lot to try and see, okay, what is going to be the most cohesive? What do we feel the most comfortable on as a team? And so obviously Lunar Colony enjoyers were just able to clutch this one out.
Yeah, it was every time I thought that they were going to lose a fight, Lunar Colony, it was the same 2 people. It was Tuna, it was Super. Every single time for the clutch up. Obviously, not to discount the supports there. They were definitely there. We can't see them in the kill feed when you're healing people.
Yes.
They were doing their thing as well. But you saw Super clutch up and get the fight win just all by themselves. It was insane.
That was
Insanity.
gameplay. And that's exactly what we want. This is Pride Cup. This is hype. This is excitement. And it's great to see people really thriving and shining in a game that they love.
Yeah, and man, again, I can't say it enough. Super on the tank is just looking phenomenal.
Coined Chad tank for a reason.
Oh my gosh. I've seen chat say Chad BH. Oh man, I like it. I like it. The queen looks good on you. It's crazy.
Oh,
but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with Esperanza. We know we're not the biggest fans of push, but I'm going to be the biggest fan of push today because we got Super, who's going to probably play Queen here. We're going to see Queen, probably Queen v Queen. We might see some more Kiriko from Donnie, which I really liked out of Donnie so far today. And Vertigo on the Ana has been phenomenal. Both sides have been playing Ana a little bit. So I think both of them can see everything. I'm excited to see how it plays out. But again, the one map that the 3 men 2 socks won today was Control, and they were controlling with Brawl Comp. So we might see a Brawl Comp out of them, more comfortable on the more Lucio types of things. So we could potentially see Ramatra here versus Queen, which could be very fun, or Ramatra v Ramatra, or maybe Queen v Queen. But I think we're definitely going to see Rush here from both these teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is just a map where you want to be able to build that momentum. You want to be able to keep that momentum. And so having players that are able to do so is always a good thing. So, I mean, we see here 3 men 2 socks. JC looks like he's coming out on the Winston, which, I mean, I don't mind. Maybe he's just not as comfortable on the Junker Queen because the comp that they're playing would fit perfectly with the Junker Queen on this map. And also, I just kind of, I wish Lunar Colony enjoys had a Lucio player, because then you
Right.
could really just speed in that queen. You could get into their faces, because they're also playing a really, really nice comp centered around that. So, but obviously, you know, they're gonna play what they play. So we'll have to see how these two teams interact with the monkey versus the queen.
Yeah, and I really like the Sombra pick here. Immediately getting a hack off on Super is going to be essential. I do like Big Tuna on Tracer as well. We've seen what Tuna can do on the carry hero so far, so we'll see how it works out on with the Tracer in hands. But Vertigo's going to go down to Jesse early. A big pick off here. Gari's really low here, but Parasox and Jesse will find 2 more, and Big Tuna and Shadow. Donnie's getting low here. Will survive on about 1 HP. Is going to get that passive, which gives a little bit of recovery here. It's still not down. Just a lot of HP here from Donnie. Donnie's low now. Finally goes down. Super has no one to back him up. No help. It's looking like a fight win. And again, this Winston comp's going to work really well because Esperanza has this high ground that works so well with Winston.
Yeah, and I really, like, as you focused on it, the Sombra pick for me is so important, because it's such a distraction for the supports, where you're just going to get in, you're going to get that hack off, and you're just going to be such a nuisance. And we actually see Big Tuna switch over to the Reaper to help deal with that monkey that's not pressuring the front or the back line, but Vertigo goes down, which is a big
Mole
loss
finds
for
him.
them.
Yeah. And they get the cap. We're going to see the butt scratch come out, get a little bit of it looks like they are calling for a pause, so we might have to see a pause here in just a moment. Vertigo is calling for pause. Hopefully we see it. There it is. I think Jesse is mid play, so there was the little issue there. But I mean, it was just a complete run over. It might have been Vertigo maybe DCing, or someone might have been going down there, because Vertigo get picked there.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's unfortunate sometimes.
Happens.
Your internet just goes.
Yeah, that's what happens when we're not playing on LAN. You have to deal with the internet connectivity issues.
That's very true. When we're looking at ults here, so we actually see the teams are pretty even with their ults. The only downside, I would say, Shadow is just not as close to his ult as we'd want him to be. But I mean, like EMP, that's a fight win. I mean, if you get a good Death Blossom off, that's a fight win. Cole's going to be able to sustain 3-man 2-sock fight really well, and then obviously Jesse with the Prime, and then Parasox if need be with the Beat. I think their ult lineup is going to be so strong. We obviously just don't want them to all click Q at the same time, but you know what? These things happen.
Yeah, we saw it how many times in the first game?
Yes, exactly.
I think every other fight, I felt like I heard 5 ults being used. But they've been doing a good job of controlling what ults get used. It seems like they're very smart with their ult utility and their ult banks, and making sure they control what's being used, not to use too much. Even though we have seen fights where it was like 2, and then the other team was like, well, we'll use 2, and then they're like, well, fine, we'll use our 3rd to win the fight. Like, it's like those types of things will happen. But yeah, they're coming up on 5 ults, and we're going to see how Lunar Colony responds. Super has done a good job on the Queen, but it's just not enough when you're getting hacked, you're getting pelted down by a Reaper. It's going to be really hard to sustain that. Donnie and Vertigo can only do so much, especially when those two are getting dove by Lucio, Moira, and Winston so far this game. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking kind of to Super's ult to see, because obviously in 3-man 2-socks, they don't have that Kiriko, they don't have that cleanse, but they might be able to sustain with the beat if Para's able to build it up in time. So we're looking for that Queen ult, and then obviously the Nano Reaper could come in, or even Reaper Kitsune. So I mean, there's a lot of available collaborations between ultimates that we could see, but they actually have to build those ults up in time, because 3-man 2-socks are faster. They're all up to
and then
80 to
Moira's
90
popping ult here early.
Well, that was fast.
But both Reapers go down. Reckoning goes off. Beats goes in to save the rest of the team. But we see a Nano on the Queen. Mole finds Shadow in the process of all this. But Super finds Parasox. Mole is uses Fade very early there. They're looking for something. Vertigo's in the middle of everything. Looking low here. Vertigo does go down, but Super finds Mole. Again, Super just trying to will this team. Clutching up. They're keeping everybody alive here from that support line of Vertigo. Donnie does go down, but Super and Big Tuna are on the point. The bot is sustained by them right now, and they're going to end up winning the fight. It was very close, but they got it out of there with multiple ults being used.
Yeah, that was very, very well played by them. Oh, and Jesse goes on so late. Tuna is like, nope, you're not running away. And Tuna is on the hunt for blood.
Yep, 2 is about to find a third. No, Parasox responds, says no. I refuse. I refuse to go down to that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And they're not going to have close spawn anymore, 3 men, 2 socks, but they are going to be able to get right back into that fight, especially with Tuna going down so late. And they needed that ult for this fight here.
Yeah, and I mean, 75 meters is a lot. For this push map. It's very hard to bounce back. You're gonna have to win a couple fights in a row here, maybe 3 fights in a row. But EMP goes off and Kirigari just cleans everyone up. And Super in the back line again, killing Mole, trying to look for another one. Does find 2. Somehow magically is still alive. Potentially looking to find a third. It talks against Big Tuna though, and it's just there's no way that we get another one, right? There's no way Super finds a third. There's a Reaper. There's no way you find a third. There's no way. There's no way you find a third. It's fate is used. Oh, I'm just seeing the chase of a lifetime. We're just it does find Kirigari, and they flip. I don't get it. I don't get it. Super is just he's unkillable.
Oh my goodness, you'd expect that to be such an easy fight win, but Super's just like, no, Queen is fantastic. I'm just going to run at your face.
EMP, the Reaper ult utilized, and they kill 3. And there goes Big Tuna using his Reaper ult, getting Parasox. Shadow finds Jesse, and that should be another fight win for Lunar Colony. And they're gonna push this bot. They're probably gonna get the close spawn here. Cue the butt scratch from the bot, and we'll see how everything else pops off from there. It's crazy fight wins.
Yeah, and they only had to use 1 ult. I mean, they've got 3 ults coming up here. I mean, they've got 1 ult maybe on the side of 3 men, 2 socks. So we do expect a win out of Lunar Colony and Joyous for this one. I mean, they have 3 ults. We don't expect them to lose that fight.
We have a Doomfist sighting over for Jesse.
Jesse's
I wonder if this is maybe a comfort pick.
Mm.
But Super gets another pick. I mean, Reckoning gets 3. It's insane. So much damage. Reaper teleporting in. Shadow finds 1. Reaper finds the Reaper. Tuna kills Kirigari, and it's just unsuffering. They come back. Now they're up by 12, 13 meters, counting. Doomfist trying to deal with Super, trying to do something here. Super somehow finds Mole out of all that craziness. And it's another fight win for Lunar Colony. There goes Beat. They're going to pop Kitsune to respond. Jesse's trying to find someone, anyone. Meteor Strike is off. Kirigari's trying to find something. Goes down. Meteor Strike finds Vertigo on the payload. Down goes on it. Shadow and Big Tuna were so low, but Shadow finally gets met. Donnie is also really low. Super is just healthy as always. But now Moira ult is being popped. Super still finds another pick. It's just unkillable Queen.
Oh my goodness gracious. And now they've got they've still got 3 ults. They've got 3 ults for this fight. They're going against an EMP, another Death Blossom maybe, but 3 ults. I mean, if they just regroup a little bit and then go in with their ults. Oh, there's EMP out.
Here's the EMP. Big. Donnie goes down from it. Die, but it's canceled out by Jesse. Big cancel with the spear. They nano Super though. So is it gonna be enough? We've already 3 down. We have no, I never doubted. Shadow actually pops ult this time, does die. Reckoning goes off, has got 3 with it. Sox is gonna go down, Tox is gonna go down. Super, finally, the raid boss has been taken away. It's a fight win for 3 men, 2 Sox, and they got a lot of ground to make up now.
Yeah, and I mean, remember earlier I was like, no, I don't know if we're gonna see an Orisa, and Jesse's like, okay, I'm playing Orisa. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm dealing with this, which is hilarious from Jesse. But yeah, so we're looking at Kurigari's ult going into this fight. I mean, unfortunately, Lunar Colony and Joyous have nothing, so they just need to try and dry fight this and build ults as best they can, with not losing too much space. Because we also see Jesse's ult is right on time.
Unfortunately, Kirigari does go down. Big Tuna, again, doing what Big Tuna does, and that's getting picks. We do see the Torbjorn come out from Tox. Also, Shadow's moved over to Echo, and we've seen a Mercy. But we're going to see an ult from Jesse here. Somehow, does win the tank war versus Super, though, this time. But it's not enough, as the team fight is won by The Lunar Colony enjoyers. It is rough. Close spawn is now back online. It's looking rough here. 44 meters, 2 minutes. They have ults though. That's the win here. They have the ults to no ults.
Going down. That was close.
Yep. And they're gonna actually reset here. They're gonna wait for their tank to come back. Super was pretty far behind. Still recovering. Trying to get back. We do see a Valk and Reaper ults coming out here. The Blossom is gonna be huge for this next fight.
Oh, he's sneaking. He's looking for
Here's the Kitsune and goes down before the chance to use it. Valk goes off the anti-nade onto Mole, gets the pick. Big Tuna instead is going to use Reaper ult. Blossom goes off, gets the turret and the Torbjorn. It's the stall from Parasox is not enough. It's close. I don't know if they're going to get any more point on the bot, not any more push here, but a minute 30, 44 meters. They're going to have to win at least 3 fights to try to get this one done.
Yeah, it's looking really rough. I mean, Shadow's got ult, Vertigo's almost got nano. Parasox actually switching onto the Zen to try and deal with just the Lunar Colony enjoyers. See if they can put a bit more pressure maybe on that Reaper, because Tuna is doing so much damage. And Tox actually picks off Super BH. And
huge ult usage here. We have a couple kills here. 3 men 2 socks doing something here, making something happen. Shadow dies to the burn, hits the ground and just dies to it. That's super unlucky. Jesse gets a spear on Tuna. Under a minute left. I mean, hey, we've seen crazier things today. We've already seen a reverse sweep.
True.
Can we see the comeback on push to take us to a map 5?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I mean, Super's really close to ult. That nano could be a fight win. But Jesse also has ult and Mole. Ooh, Super is taking a lot of
damage. Super. Queen is on, but takes a lot of damage, so can't really make any capitalization off of it because of the window. It's a good window. Parasox is out of position. Goes down. Jesse just trying to do something here. Has ult. Is looking for it. Finds it. Can't get Vertigo with it. Gets big ult from Jesse. Shadow gets them on point, though. They need to touch. 7 seconds. It's the opposite direction.
Does he get touch?
Are we gonna touch? Okay, they have a touch for Reaper. But Jesse goes down. It's Kiriko. It's an Echo left. Shadow clutches up. Gets the fight win. Donnie. Shadow on point. Not gonna push the bot. And that'll wrap up the game. It wasn't the 2 we normally see, but Lunar Colony is just clutch. Just kings and queens of clutch, apparently, this map.
Oh, apparently so. Wow. And Super BH with play of the game. I mean, nobody who's watching can say they're really surprised. He has been playing phenomenally this entire series.
Yeah, just look at this. Look at the quality coming out of this. It's just insane how clutch. They were losing that fight. That fight was over. And you come back and kill 3, and then you're like, oh, hey, we have a chance. Like, it's just insane how good Super played this match, as well as Big Tuna and Donnie had some amazing moments that game too.
Yeah, I think everybody from Lunar Colony enjoyers really pulled their weight. You could see that they knew what they wanted to do, and they were able to just go out and do that. And obviously, Tuna popping off, Super BH just playing out of his mind. 3 men 2 socks they also had some really, really great plays, but just unfortunately couldn't find their footing against that Junker Queen comp that Lunar Colony enjoyers were playing. But very, very well played to both teams. Such a fantastic series to be able to cast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of crazy moments. I mean, it was just down to the wire. Jesse, I'm watching the replay now, almost got the pick off on Donnie. That would have probably solidified the win there, or the fight win at very least. Stopped the close spawns, would have helped a ton, but you know. Yeah. It's insane. 3 men 2 socks played really, really well though this game. I think Jesse had his moments. We saw what happened on Control. It was just insane gameplay from both teams. I had a lot of fun watching it, but they let Super on Queen, and it was just over from there.
All right, so I'm going to pose the question, right? Who is your player of the match? I wonder.
Oh, it's a tough one. But like really, because Big Tuna was insane this game, and I'm just not going to discredit the support line, as they definitely deserve their flowers. But I mean, come on, a 4v1. There was no one else there. Super definitely is taking it this match. It was a 4v1. 166 that clutched it up. No one else there. Team is dead. Gets one health pack and says, you know what? I got this.
Yeah, I got this sorted. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Same.
in complete agreement with you. Fantastic plays by him, by Tuna. I mean, just by everyone. It's just been fantastic, fantastic Overwatch gameplay this afternoon so far.
Same. Yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, it was very, very good game. It was a blast to cast this one. I had a great time. It was very fun seeing Kirigari on Widow too. I wish we could have saw more out of the Widow because the headshot after headshot it felt like was popping off over there. So I had a blast with that game, and I hope we can keep running them.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So that has been everything from myself and my amazing co-caster Davian. We will see you guys. Hope to see you guys back here at 6 because there is going to be a lot more action coming at 6 o'clock tonight. So be right back here on Zeta Overwatch on Twitch for a lot more fun and Pride Cup just excitement.
Yeah, I mean, so far today we've had a reverse sweep and a 4v1 clutch on a queen. So what else can we ask for out of the first 2 games here? And many more to come this weekend. So we'll see you guys later on. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If we don't see you then, make sure you tune in tomorrow as well.